Are you, okay. How are you? I'm sorry to make you come over on this. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I don't know if the volume. I'm sorry to make you come over on this. It's just that it's so censored. It's crazy. All right. So I didn't want to hold back on anything I need to say. All right, sweetheart. So how can I help you in this reading? Oh, good, good. God, the print is so tiny on here. Wow. Okay, that's better. How can I help you out, sweetheart? What would you like this reading to address? So usually it starts with a question or a concern that a person has. I know. Yeah, and now it's going to increase in the censorship is crazy. So bad. I've been on there 4 years doing readings, and it's just ridiculous. I'd rather do readings on YouTube because you can't say anything on it anywhere. The other day I told someone, yeah, the link is on my Instagram, which, by the way, I closed my Instagram. I was tired of it. But, and I got flagged and it gave me a violation. I said, what? It said that I was manipulating people off of the platform. What? No, I mentioned a link on Instagram. Forget it. Ridiculous. Anyway, sweetheart, how can I help you? Let me clear the energy a little bit. Oh, I know. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my live. I'm a psychic clairvoyant, so I'm going to be doing a reading, and my focus is going to be on Miss Liz. So I won't be able to address all your questions because she booked a reading, so I'm going to be focused on that. Readings are available in my shop, and I do free yes and no on TikTok, but I do my readings on YouTube. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to be focusing on Liz. Liz, how can I help you, sweetheart? What is the question that you have or the concern that you have for this reading? How can I be of help? Okay, I had asked. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to look. I'm going to start things just as an icebreaker. And I'm going to do a dice reading just as an icebreaker on the relationship. Do you want to give me his sign? So, you know, Taurus, Virgo, Aquarius, whatever it is. His sun sign. Just to have something to identify. Some people give the name or a nickname, or their astrological sign is just fine. Just to have something to anchor the question with. I think there's a little bit of is there a lag on this live? I can reconnect, but I'll try not to so that the recording is stable. Okay, so he's a Taurus and you're a Sag. Okay, well that's difficult. Wow, that's difficult. Okay. All right, there's something. So okay, let me tell you what's going on here. Usually I just go ahead and read the dice part, but I don't want to. I think it's really rough, so I'm gonna get into the card part, or maybe I should just say it. Okay, let's start at the beginning. I'm seeing something in the past that mainly in your past, even though as a married couple, your past is shared with him. I mean, you know, obviously, if it precedes the wedding and all that, it would be just your past. But this is something that's deep in the past, that has a great deal to do with, you know, something with job or finance, a decision that maybe you made that maybe he didn't like. It just goes back into something that kind of like when the root of a problem started. Like, I want to do things my way. No, do it this way. No, I don't want to. There's a butting heads here. That's not what caused it, you know. But it does bring up something very particular. Maybe this was because so kind of like in a timeline, like when you look at the beginning of when a problem began in a relationship, and it was like when a person took a job, or you can narrow it down to one event or something like that. That's why I'm saying there's something significant here, where you handled things in a way that there was a struggle that when two minds don't see eye to eye. Anyway, this talks a great deal about you being out of touch with the way that he feels and sees things, or has been feeling. This tells me that, and this is hard, but I'm just gonna say it. This tells me that it seems like his emotions have been neglected for a long time. You know, his emotions have been. Hang on one second. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had to report a troll. So this lets me know that there's been a lot of emotional. Not that you ignore him. That's ridiculous. That's not what I mean. But it's like you haven't been in tune with the way that he's needed you to. I'm not saying, oh, this is sounding so bad, like I'm saying, oh, you're the bad one. That's not what I mean at all. It's just letting me know that the way that you've seen things, the way that you look at things, your philosophies, your perception, he's grown tired of the way he has felt. He's got a lot of issues. It's almost like when he's drained. This tells me that he's checked out. I would say that it doesn't seem like he wants to stay in the relationship. I do not feel that he's in love. Now, the good news is that when something ends like this, and it's a drastic end, that just means that your happiness is around the corner. Today, you don't see that. Today, you're focused on the reality of your relationship and the pain and all the stress and all of that, and that's normal. You don't see that, but you don't see that new chapter in your life. When you're already living that new part of your life, then you start really realizing, wow, it was worth it. Like destiny really had something interesting, but you don't see that yet. You just see the hard part. So that's the good news, is that there's a lot that's going to be bringing you happiness and change in your life. But in this particular marriage, I would say it's over. Why do I say that? And I'm one to really hang on there and try to see that, if you've seen me read for people, like, I'm always trying to find the silver lining. But when I see it like this, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't seem like he's still in love the way that he was. I don't believe it's reconcilable. I do believe that he has wanted out. And it was because of being emotionally drained, like when he just doesn't feel understood. With that note, let's get deeper into the reading and see what feelings are and everything like that. All right, so give me 1 second here. Can you hear me clearly, Liz? Just to make sure, a mic check. Hi, I took a photo of your reading. I'll go over it again. I have a photo of it. And I'll explain. I got a hold of technical support with them and everything. So, yeah, I'm just in the middle of a read. I'm real deep into their story. So let me focus on them. But yes, Jenny. Hey, Liz, I just want to make sure you're still there, sweetheart. I just want to make sure you're still there. Okay, thank you. Okay. So let's talk about this. So there's good and bad, like I said. So I'm ready to talk about this. So if you I'm going to go ahead and just in case, I'm scared that it won't record my reading, so I'm going to record it, okay? In case of anything, because I don't want it to disconnect. All right, so here we go. Okay, so you said you could hear me, Liz. So I'm going to start off with a couple of questions that you don't have to answer, but I'm just thinking out loud. I'm wondering if in the past there was some kind of legal situation between both of you. So if you called the cops on him, or if there was any kind of issue that you went through together, maybe you were waiting for him to, finish something like a lawsuit or something. There's something heavy that took, unless he's already filed and then you haven't been served, and that or he could have just gone to attorneys. Something legal and heavy is showing up in the past, the recent past. Recent meaning a couple of years to now, not deep like 5, 10, 15. So this is something pretty fresh in the past. Do you know what that is? So that's the way the reading begins. If you're not aware, it could be that he went to a couple of free consultations to attorneys. That can be possible. But sometimes, I have to make sure it wasn't one incident. Because that could have been the root of what started to separate things. Okay, so without getting into your business, okay, because you're saying that prison was involved. So without getting into that deep stuff, I'm only going to ask you the part that's relevant to this. All right. Again, I don't need details. I just need to know, was that the root of, or let me phrase it this way, instead of asking you, let me just tell you. That shows up for a reason. That was either the highlight in time where things started going sour. That was either, it's showing up because either that's the very root of the problem when things began, or there was something that came from that situation that continued to have a ripple effect. So are you aware of the connection between that phase and the problem of the divorce weaving its way into the distance? Are you aware of what that is? You don't need to tell me what it is, but are you aware? Because sometimes things take a toll on people. When people are starting relationships, sometimes a heaviness in their life can put a damper on things. There's a lot of reasons, but something heavy doesn't show up in the past, without being directly correlated with the issue. Okay, so that heaviness is there. So I don't know, I guess there's a delay in the chat. Okay, so when you got married, he was there. Okay, all right. And then, the distance of not being together or close, maybe that's what it was. I'm not sure. You would know. I wouldn't. But I'm just saying that comes up because that's why I thought, you call the cops on him or something like that, because I didn't want to phrase it. But it seemed like there was something that was a wedge. And, I've had clients tell me that scenario that you're talking about is worse than military, because I've read for, military wives, and they say the ones that have, with that, they say that it's worse. So yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry you went through that. So that right there, the rough beginning, definitely. Now let's talk about the present. It talks about you wanting now, in a way, certain love feelings and certain things that you haven't had in a long time. It's like you're being very, it's like when you're in tune with it. So it's almost like in the past your head and focus was somewhere else, and now you're very focused, and you are of the mindset of, all the things you want to, it's like the timing has been off. And that's something where I think that now that you want to, he doesn't want to. So it's almost like when you do, he doesn't. When he does, you don't. And there's been a timing problem with everything from the beginning. And it's a shame because the mindset and feelings that you have right now, it's been what he's wanted. So there's it's a shame he doesn't connect to where you are right now on a heart level, because I do see your willingness to thrive forward. It reminds me of, and I hate to use this metaphor, but it's kind of like when a person wakes up from a really bad dream and then they're happy because it was a nightmare, and it's almost like, the irony of that. All right, let's talk about one of the things. So he has a lot of depression and a lot of things. I'm not using that word clinically or anything like that. I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, but I would just say, bouts of sadness. It has a lot to do with how he feels about his life. So that this talks about him internally feeling deeply about how he has wanted to thrive, that he has wanted. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Yes, the timing is off. Yeah, on the lag, thank you. There's he feels about his own life like he's had a lot of wasted time, and he's been a victim of circumstance and a statistic, and he also feels like there's so much he wants to do. He does have a lot of energy and a lot. He's also quite creative. Are you aware of that, Lizzie, that he's creative? He's got he's pretty artistic with something. Maybe it's photography, maybe he does carving, maybe there's something that he does with his hands, but there's something that he also wants to create and do, and he feels like he hasn't had a chance. He's got a lot of dreams and aspirations, and he feels drained. He feels absolutely drained. And he can be very close-minded. Very, very close-minded. So this also brings up the subject of children. So not the children themselves. I'm not seeing any actual children in the reading, but I'm seeing the parental weight. So this could be a story of people that wanted kids or have kids, and the way they're connecting with raising the kids is heavy. It's more the parent subject that is in here, not the kids themselves. There's not, because if it were kids, I'd say, oh wait, there's a warning with this one and da 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 da. It's not about the actual kids. It's about the parenting of children is a big theme here. And it has a weight on it. So maybe you wanted to be a mom, or maybe he was already a dad and you wanted to be a mom, or maybe you do have kids, but it's not the kids. It's an imbalance with the family root of what has to be there. This also can be that a baby was lost, something, there's a heaviness there. And we'll leave it at that because it's a delicate subject. So this talks about you, maybe being unaware that maybe you you were pregnant. Again, I don't get into medical or anything like that. I don't do any of that stuff. Nothing medical with the body, you know. But sometimes things like that show up in readings, so I kind of mention it because, you know, this talks about, you know, maybe you knowing that you were, and then, you know, something happened and maybe he didn't know, you know, all kinds of themes like that show up, showing up in the reading. Okay. Now, besides that, this talks about, I mean, could you be right now? You know, you should check, you know, make sure, go visit your OBGYN and stuff just to make sure, okay? Anyway, moving on. So this talks about, you know, the fact that what you're going through emotionally is very difficult. You know, this talks about you being very, maybe not sleeping right. You got to be careful with your, you know, this is when emotionally a person's hair can thin or their nails could get brittle, not hold food down right, because stress to the mind is so hard. It can have a very big impact on the, yes, hang on one second. This person is a troll. Okay. All right. Oh, it's cutting off a little. Okay, I'm recording the whole thing with an actual audio. So that way I'll just upload it because I'm not going to take any chances. On yours, I was going to record it and load it if I didn't get a hold of you. So I took photos of it. I can go over it on the live, but if it's freezing for you, I'm gonna have to see what's going on because this is getting annoying. I wanna be able to stream on here, and if it's having issues, it's not good. Oh, thank you for letting me know about the connection. So I haven't heard from Liz, so maybe she got disconnected. But that's, I mean, that's okay. I'm still recording the reading. Oh yeah, no, I know, cutting out, yeah. I don't know why, so I'm gonna have to see. It must be YouTube's mobile. Wait, is Lizzie? Isn't it Liz Herrera? Did you switch accounts? Is that you, Lizzie? No, are you pretending to be the client and you're just trolling, or are you the client? Oh, I reported you as a troll. Sorry. I didn't know it was you. I was so into the reading that I didn't have a chance to feel, because as a psychic, sometimes I can kind of feel when I'm paying attention if somebody is like the person or not. But my head is so much into his feelings, I'm not noticing anything else. That's why I'm deeply into what he's feeling, okay? And that's where my focus is, because I am stressed because I don't like delivering rough news, and it's a hard reading, but it also has good things too. And you know, I just feel bad. You know, I feel bad. That's all, sweetheart. Okay. I definitely am not a cold person. I definitely have a heartfelt when I read for people. Okay. I have a soft side. All right. So, so like I said, you know, you got to be careful because this talks about the toll being very hard on you. You're mostly you're a very positive person, good sense of humor, funny. You know, you get through things, but this is really rough, and that's why I'm saying this reading talks about the heaviness of what you've been going through and what you're going to be going through with, you know, this hurt, you know. So I do see the divorce in the reading. The reading is very clear. It shows the divorce. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. But I had to, she's like, no way. Like I said, I don't do any kind of fertility reading. But the themes of it show up, and that is 100% accurate. It's just the fact that I don't know how they apply to your life. So you know, the theme of either wanting to be parents or, you know, dealing with all of that has a great deal with it. Now, let me tell you something else that also comes out in the reading that's kind of woven with that. There's pressure from the mother. So I don't know how involved his mother was in the relationship, or your mom. Usually it's his, that also causes a strain. All right. So that's another thing that shows itself here. So it's going to be one or the other. It's not like going to be like both moms, but usually it's just one. You know, one kind of meddling in the way. So yeah. Uh-oh, you're mad about something? Uh-oh. Okay. So like I said, I do see the divorce, and I do see that he tries to get assets that should go to you. So there's some vindictiveness there, and that's a whole other thing. Now, there's something that he has, there's a vice that's showing up in the reading. So what I mean by that is some kind of, a big problem here also has to do with some kind of addiction. So whether it's theft or drinking or whatever, I'm not going to fill in all the gaps, but that also shows itself as a problem that continues. So that's an issue, a driving force and pressure that's in here. So it also seems like one of the biggest fears that show up, something that you know is like, will you have to handle everything by yourself again? You know, it's like when one of the things that has drained you and upset you is that you've had to do so much on your own in the marriage. You know, it's also almost like why be married, right? Like the anger of like, you know, why, why all on me? Like why, you know, and it's heavy. So, and then also, this explains that for a while you're going to be not only, and this is the part that sucks, because I'm telling you, the bad news is the heaviness of what you're going to be feeling. It's going to continue for a bit, and you're also going to feel like you don't know what to do. The feeling of unsure, like unstable, I don't know whether to turn this way, that way. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to rectify this. I'm sorry for the lawn maintenance noise. There's nothing I can do about that. But everything is recorded, so I'll get it to you. If there's any freezing on this live, I have a backup recording, so I'll be able to give it to you. Now, on the plus side, there's something that's going to be a change coming into your life. And this talks about winning over money, over obstacles, financial gain. Okay? So, oh, thank you. This talks about winning and financial gain. So it's almost like the love life goes like this, and then the financial life goes like this. So there is a silver lining. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this, and you're going to start fresh, and you're going to be happy, and you are going to succeed. So do you have any questions for me? Do you have anything you need me to verify for you or answer for you? I'm so sorry for the lawn maintenance. So this is this closes the reading. but I leave it open now if you have any questions for me. I'm about to say something in a minute. Can you like use the blower over there? It's getting to me. Okay, are you sure? I just want to, okay, I just wanted to give you that, whatever you need, you know, I wanted to answer it, but okay, sweetheart. Listen, it's rough, but I'm telling you, you're going to get through all of it, and you're going to see you succeed in your life. All right, sweetheart? I wish you good things, honey, and thank you again for choosing me for a reading. If you missed any part of it, I will have a recording, okay? Thank you, sweetheart, very much. All right, Jenny says, I did another payment because you said my career... What? Because my career... Let me use this. Because my career came through and was wondering if you could go to what it was trying to say after the loved one. After the loved one. Okay, yeah. I can get into the love. I could go over your reading. Yeah, definitely. Oh, no worries, Lizzie. Thank you so much. Not a problem, sweetheart. I mean, it's usually not part of the reading to ask any questions. It's just the one, but I always leave a little session for people just in case. But that's okay. I mean, we did address your question. Reading is complete. I didn't mean to make you feel like, you know, there was anything pending or anything. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so Jenny, let me go over the photo. Oh no, I put the photo on the other one. Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on. How do I do this? Oh, I gotta go get the photo. Am I still on the live? There. Am I still on the live? There we go. Okay. I have the the reading here. Let me go ahead and stare at this a minute. Okay. So we left off. There was going to be so I'm gonna zip through it. Okay. It looks like today and tomorrow and next week and the week after that and months after that, things continue cozy and happy and good and positive, and it looks like he continues to, you know, be... Somebody's yelling very strangely. He continues to be very chivalrous and everything good. The problem is that at some point, there could be an issue in the way that you communicate, and this is where I see that he can leave you, and it's in the reading very clearly that he can leave you and surprise you with that, because it stems from a series of arguments, but one main one. So it's avoidable if you kind of look at, while you're in the relationship, look at it from a third view perspective or an outsider's perspective, and look at him, and you learn the way that he, like if he says something rude, you'll just say, oh, you're in a bad mood, whatever. But if you don't take it that way, because Aquarius females, you got to be they have very interesting tempers, very, very interesting characters, very strong. They don't take crap. So there can be a clashing between both of you later. And that's the danger that I saw, the worry, is that he can leave you. I do see some arguments, and it comes from being very, very, very close. And then the more you start to learn each other deeper, This is like the 6-month mark. I don't remember if I had a timeline on this, but I don't have a timeline, but I just know that it continues really good for a while. And then there's some little issues that start up, and then that's grows. So the danger in the reading is that he can break up with you, and that's what I didn't want you to experience. So I was trying to tell you that the way around it is to behave and respond in a way that I guess is more palatable for him. Not trying to have you change or anything, but it's the only way I can address for you not to go through that, because I do see that, unfortunately. The good news is that you're able to know about this in the future, so there's no surprises because you've been through a lot. And the good news is also that, it can be avoided. And also the good news is that the reading ended with money for you. Doesn't necessarily mean a big bag of it, but it can be a higher position than you expected, or something prominent happening with your position or your future where you say to yourself, wow, I didn't know this was coming my way. This is awesome. And sometimes that can be, multiple things. It doesn't necessarily translate as actual money on a check or anything. It can just be the opportunity. And then, of course, the money comes with it, but the prestige and all of that. So there's something positive. It can, of course, be directed at, the paycheck as well. And this was the reading. It's a love reading, but it ended up with good news with job. So let's see. So that would be the reading. So now let me go back and read all your questions. Let's see. I know you mentioned where he could leave me because of an argument. Okay. Do you think it can be worked on my part? I do see that it can be worked on your part. So again, I didn't mean to paint you as, oh, you're the one doing it bad. You're the one that I didn't, not to like that. But because you're the one getting the reading, because I do see that you can clash and you can miss, yeah. Okay, let's see. You said, so the Pisces part of you, Pisces abandons. It's very strange, but they do. One day they decide that tired and bored of something and they leave. Does it mean they don't know how to be loyal or have long relationships? Oh God, no, that's not what I mean at all. But they can have lifelong relationships that are wonderful and beautiful. But what I'm saying is that if something bothers them and bothers them and bothers them, they just plug themselves out of it. The Aquarius part deals with things very differently. So you've got like part of you, the Aquarian part, can really butt heads and be really strong. The Pisces part can try to wrap around a lot of his, wants and needs and, comfort. And then if it starts draining you, so there's room for bonding and a lot of beautiful connection. And then there's room for very strong, headstrong clashing. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's see, because of his sign. All right, let's see. Is it worth it to stay? Well, yeah, because, well, okay, I see what you're saying, because I already see that he does that. I mean, you stay anyway. Let me explain what I mean. I realize I'm a stranger on the internet and you don't know me, and you're not going to sit there just following my reading. If you've known me for years, my regulars that I've read for years, I could say anything and they'll do it because they've lived through so much proof. But you just met me, so you don't know, and I get that, and that's cool. It's kind of weird if you'd follow everything without, Anyway, a little skepticism is normal at the beginning. So I don't expect you to just completely rearrange your life because of the reading. So let's be realistic. You have a lot of feelings for this man, and they're growing. live your life. Just be aware of what I said, and that way you don't feel like you didn't know, like you had no clue. And once you get through that phase, which won't be too long, then you can reevaluate. And then I think that at that point, you'll know intuitively, because you have so much water, you know, Pisces and all that, moon and rising. You'll know, you'll know in the direction that you're going to flow. You're also going to be handling a lot of career stuff now. So you have to get ready to flourish in something very new in your life. And that's going to take a lot of you. One of the hardest things is when you're starting this beautiful romance and then you're trying to also uplift your wonderful career. So you're handling two of the biggest things in life that humans do, all at the same time. It's hard, right? So live your life. Just because that kind of split and that kind of, you know, ruckus shows up, does it mean just leave? That's the path you're on right now, and just brave it and let your intuition guide you. You know, that's what I can say, because you're not going to walk away. You know. All right. So let's see. So do I see that you're more in love with him than he is with you? No, I do not. I see that you're both in love with each other. I see that you're both in love with each other. I see, I think it's balanced. I really do believe it's balanced. The thing is that I see that it's going to end. At least till a certain point, because, you know, you might be, maybe the next, you know, chapter after that you guys make up, but that is, you know, but maybe you don't, you know, and that's when you start reading longer timelines. I would say don't worry about that too much, unless it bugs you. And then I would say to you, then it's time to turn to astrology, which I don't push that on anybody. I'm an astrologer. I'm a love astrologer. I don't push that on anybody. I say live your life, get a reading, wait till things happen, you know, learn from it, evolve spiritually, use your intuition, and wait for the next phase in life. But some people get scared by long-term readings. Some people love them. I have clients that only want long astrology. Who your soulmate is and when you'll get married and all of that is in the chart. Warnings, things like that. What if your person is in your past? You know, what if the person that you're going to be happy with is 5 years away, or 3 years away or something? So what are you going to do until then? So sometimes I say some people are wired differently and they want to know deep long term, and some people can't handle it and they need to look at life with just a little bit of the future, you know. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, I think you should just live your life and just be aware that the argument will be there and he would leave, and because his sign is prone to do that anyway, they're drastic. And then just and use your intuition. You understand there's always that risk? Yeah, of course, yeah. Eventually, I do believe you're going to meet someone that does stick and they defy all the things you've learned about love, because, you know, there's a balance there. I do feel that, because you do have a lot of luck surrounding you. You're very, sometimes things push you to do things and you don't know where it comes from, and that's the guidance that you have from your ancestors and stuff. So I do pick up on that with you. Okay. Oh, exactly. It's like, yeah. Pisces is immediately, you don't have to ask them, well, what direction should you go in? What you don't, they very, very confident. Oh, I love this. I like this. I feel better here. They're they're very decisive with certain things. Other things they could be indecisive, but they're mainly very decisive with certain things. I do like him a lot. I just hope it's reciprocated. And your Venus is in Pisces, you know, will put your significant other on a pedestal. Venus in Pisces, I don't believe that at all. I know that sounds, you know, I don't believe Venus in Pisces puts the love on a pedestal. I believe that that comes from other things. Mainly Scorpio and Cancer have a lot to do with that. Venus in Pisces can just mean that you run away and feel something way too, like it feels like you've loved someone 20 years and you just met them. I think that's more Venus and Pisces. All right. And you feel their energy and you start dreaming with them, and it's a very unique thing. All right. Let's see. Oh, hey, Kali, how are you? So what I do is, I stream on TikTok and YouTube sometimes the same time, and sometimes I'll do TikTok, but I only do my readings on YouTube because TikTok is so censored that every word I would sound like Tarzan English. Yeah, and it's annoying. I can't say anything. You can't say any word anymore without being flagged or violated, or you know, it's crazy. And I want to be able to say certain words. You know, well, you can't say anything. A medical condition. You can't say drinking. You can't say alcohol. You can't say. Oh my God! It's like, you know, nobody can stand it. Okay. Now, there's a weird thing going on. Well, when I'm doing a reading, I'm going to also be doing the voice record. I record the live and I'll post it on the channel. But if it freezes, it means the thing, I already dealt with tech support. I always want you guys to have a copy. So I try, and if it freezes, I'll either try to sign back in, or I will have a backup recording that I can send you guys. You know what I'm thinking of doing? I'm thinking of just having my business mobile available for my clients to text them, because I'm just, people are having a hard time getting a hold of me. So I think I'm gonna just give that out, and you know, and that's fine. I will post it on my Linktree. I'll post my mobile shop number there, so like a contact, and you guys can text me, and I'll text you back and stuff. I'm gonna do that because I don't want my people that book readings to have an issue, okay, in getting a hold of me. All right, so here we go. So let's see. Lizzie, did you have a question? Oh no, I think she left. Oh, I just saw that. No, she did have one. Oh, okay. Yeah, not a problem. It's still good now. Yeah, I remember the reading. When I forget the reading, no, but I still remember it. All right, Jenny, so you said that you had a reading, and then so does Callie? Okay, not a problem. I will do those in order. So let's see. So this one, Jenny, this is your one for career, yes? Just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to start your career reading now, and then it's Callie's reading. Let's see. Callie booked a very deep love reading. Okay, so this is a long one. Okay. So I'm thinking on that one, because it's so long, I might try to do that reading on TikTok and YouTube, so that I have a backup recording of it. Well, actually, no, you know why? Because TikTok doesn't even record them anymore. Yeah, they only do a few, like 20 minutes. Yeah, never mind. I'd rather stick to YouTube, and I'll just do a voice recording on it, so that way there's always a backup, an extra backup. That reading could be an hour. It's usually not. It's usually 48 minutes. you know? If it's not dragging furniture, it's lawn maintenance. I'm sorry, guys. There's so many noises. Yeah. Why? Were you pressed for time? It can be quite, I mean, usually it's 48, 50 minutes, something like that. My private reads are 1 hour, but they are very discreet and it's one-on-one. But this stream one, if it's a lot of tea, sometimes it can get a little bit longer. And you know, because I have to stop and read what you guys say sometimes. So that eats up minutes. But the reading itself should be 48 minutes. Me reading and studying addressing all the things. Oh, okay, yeah. If you see that you're not making good time, no, you know what? You want to, okay, let's see. It's 11:30 here. We can make it. We can make the time. We can. I have to do a 25-minute reading, which can extend a couple of minutes, but we should have time. So I'm going to give you my, okay, there's only, hopefully, okay, I'm going to give you my mobile, my shop mobile. All right, so you can text 24/7 on it. It's not my personal phone number. It's my business mobile, so you can feel free to do it. I can actually say it. Yay! On TikTok, you can't because they'll tell you. I'll write it down. That way you guys, okay, hang on 1 second. Hopefully it doesn't look like chicken scratch. You guys can text me anytime because you know you guys are clients. So it's 954. Oh gosh, I realize you could see it backwards. Oh no. 954-397-2626. 954-397-2626. And that's my business mobile. All right. And if you guys buy a reading, you know, or you want to know what I'm streaming or whatever, you can always shoot me a text. All right. And I hope that helps. Oh, thank you. I should have written it backwards. All right. So here we go. So I have to start Jenny's reading right now, and this is on career. And let me pull that up. And I also Lizzie had a question, but I think she left. Okay, maybe I can address it if I see her again. And then one person, KH831, had one. I can answer it real quick if you oh, I think they left as well. Okay, I want to just get that out of the way so I can start the read for Jenny. Okay, Jenny, how can I help you, sweetheart? This is on career, right? What about career did you need? Okay, so you're worried about your career. I don't think you should be worried at all, but yeah, definitely let's see what's going to be coming up. Oh, I have to mark this. Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted into the read. Oh, nice. Oh, thank you. Okay. Get back into the zone here. Okay. All right. We have new information. Okay. On some things coming up with the, so it's interesting. When you did a love life one, and I think you did the 15, which is one of the reasons why I took that from my shop. The style of the reading that I did, which were the mini reads, they were not a style that is really fit for deep things. It was 7 cards, and the person was trying to squeeze a whole scenario into something tiny, and it just didn't work. Where this one is enough breathing room. So that's why these are the next step up, and that's why I did that on purpose in my shop. So this is going to be a good thing, because this is going to shed a lot of light. This talks about career and love, mostly career, but the love tugs up a section of this. All right, now let's start off. There's a person at your position that's in a dark place because of you leaving. It sounds drastic the way I said that, in a dark place. It's not, it's just they may not want to admit that you not being part of the staff is harder on them, is what I meant by that. So this also is a person that you're never going to know what they're thinking. So it's when a person that you deal with, maybe this is the boss or maybe something, you know, maybe a sub boss or something. But this is, yeah. Okay. That comes up. That comes up. Oh, I forgot to be recording. Uh-oh. 1 second. Oops. I got to do a recording on this. Okay, here we go. Okay, this reading is for Jenny, and this is on career. All right. So the part about the boss not admitting their feelings, and okay, we address that. Okay, let's go to the next part. So you're gonna go through a phase where the adjustment of the new place is okay. You wrote either my leader, boss, the last reading you told me that you would never I left you. Also that I wouldn't leave without them saying something to me about it. Ah, I see. I see. Of course, yeah, I understand. So you are going to continue to go through a phase for a little bit where you're trying to adjust to the new place and leaving the old place. And that's okay, that's normal. And when you get there, it's not going to be plug and play. It's going to be adjustments, and it's a little rough, but very good, very good, very good. Now let's get into some deeper tea and some warnings. There's one female that you should focus on getting close to her, nice, working with her as much as you can. This is a higher up than you. Because this is where this is the safe zone. Remember that there's very good fortune surrounding you at this new place. But when you get there, the Pisces part of you is very social. Aquarius, they're more like, you know, isolated and, you know, not having friends. But you have a lot of friendliness to you. You said there is 2 who work there. 1 is pregnant and 1 has plans on leaving. It's the one that can pave a path for you to move forward, recognizing your intelligence. It's the one that recognizes how smart you are and how diligent you are. I know this because I met someone at my part-time who told me this information, and he told me to be careful with what I tell them because I could get backup. I don't know what that means. But let me tell you about the warnings, okay? So you are advised to focus on the female higher up that recognizes your skills, because this is what's going to allow you to keep growing. You are not advised to focus on someone who tries to befriend you very much, as they are toxic. There's one person that's almost like a venomous injection into your career social life that you are to stay away from, because they are the wrong, almost like a devil in disguise. Like, seems really sweet and caring and, oh, let's hang out and let's have lunch and all this stuff, and it's not where you should put your effort. You should just from the beginning have a wall up in a nice way, but be very reserved and private. So Aquarius is very private. Pisces is not. They're very vocal, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes they can share and they can socialize and stuff like that. And they got to be careful with what they say socially and everything like that, because they can say too much, and then it gives people ammunition. There's another danger here where you can start feeling very comfortable and cozy and lose that edge that you have to have. It's hard to explain. Kind of like, don't lose that I'm new here, I have to shine here grip. You're gonna feel very comfortable, and there's things that can, gosh, it's so hard to explain. I'm trying. It's like there's three paths. Not paths, but like, let's just call it paths. One is where I see that there's like keeping your eyes on the ball. The way that this company treated you, yeah, they're terrible. But the fact that you were so like, get up and go, I'm on edge, I'm on my toes, I'm doing my job, no fun, it's just my job. It did give you like this hardcore, sharp work ethic kind of thing. I'm in, I'm out, that's it. That, if you continue kind of that style, which sucks because it's fun to unwind and kind of like, I'm at work, but I'm having fun, that's more enjoyable. But if you kind of stay, there are two paths that can steer you in the wrong direction that later can sour the way you feel in this company. Whereas if you stay on the path that I'm telling you, you're going to look back and say, ha, thank God I didn't do that. Oh, that's who she is? Thank God I didn't have lunch with her and talk to her. Oh, I'm so glad they don't know anything about me. I'm so glad that my mouth was shut and I'm reserved and they don't know a damn thing because, ha, now I know who they all are. But today everything seems wonderful and happy and cozy, and it's not. So down the line, you'll look back and say, I'm glad I handled my entrance into this company the way that I did, which is cut and dry, because it's going to leave me vulnerable and make room for gossip and issues, because you have a tendency for people to turn on you. You have a tendency to enter a place and you could be the sweetest person in the world and you don't even ask to be backstabbed. Oh, I see. That's the last word you wrote. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. What? I think I'm missing some. I'm sorry. Let me see. All right. I'll go back and read all of that. I just didn't want to forget. It's all important what you're saying, but I don't want to forget okay. So that's why I'm saying to you, it's very... There's also going to be another thing that happens later. This reading is the next couple of months in a timeline. But there's a couple of things that I'm going to say here that go all the way out to the end of 2026 and some even a piece of 2027. Okay? Some of these things, very little, because I'm not trying to do one of those long-term readings. I'm sticking to, boom, like here to December, January, something like that. Okay, this is what this is about. But a couple of things are going to go way over that. Okay, there's going to be something way down the line where you are offered a job somewhere else. Don't take it. Don't take it. Just wait. And there's going to be a whole other thing that starts to happen where you're at, where you start to see the slackers and you start to see the conniving people. You don't see that for a while, who they are. And the one you're on, where your focus is it's good because you're Aquarius, so that means that there's something different about you in the crowd anyway. If you hang on to that, and not let your Pisces influence, because your moon is the one that worries me, because it's what you love. Pisces moon tend to go after the weird shit. What you shouldn't do. But I like that. Okay, don't. It's not smart. Don't. But I'm interested in doing it this way. No. It's more rebellious. The Pisces moon is more rebel than Aquarius sun, by the way, even more rebel. All right. So I'm just saying it's significant. So it seems like I'm spending a lot of time in this message. yeah, you know what? It's important. Why? Because this is the kind of thing that later on you'll be like, damn, I really love this job. Why couldn't I go back to day one and change my game a little bit? Because I didn't know I was going to see all of this reality. I didn't know that it was going to convert to this. And this could be something that you're comfortable in the long run. I would hate for it to turn out where it's a gossip fest and like that. And we don't want that for you. Let's get into the love part. It goes right into love now. There's a small mention of the relationship stuff that I just read on you, the recap. Embeds itself here because that's the next events that are going to occur. And the fact that they are repeating in the way that they are, they're going to occur, makes me realize that there's very little leeway in how things can change. You still have influence over it, but the breakup, argument, and all that stuff is written, right? So it's very strong. And it talks about you feeling kind of betrayed in it. Now, here's another problem. It takes its toll. It takes its toll on you. I do see you get back together, but not until a couple of things I have to read on. I'll get there in a minute. You go through a phase where some of my clients jot down the readings that I tell them on those little dollar store calendars. It just makes things easier sometimes, so you could be aware of the what happens. You could check it off, but you do a good job anyway, because I can tell by the so anyway, just so you don't get lost, especially if you get other readings from other places, that it could all swarm and they're nothing to do with each other, because I don't know what people are reading. I can only do the ones I'm aware of my services. So anyway, so this is you go through a period of time, I would say a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, where you're intensely thinking about reflecting on everything in your love past, but also seeing him in a different light and being confused, like questioning yourself post argument and all of that. And it does a number on your headspace, is what it does. Now it's darting over to career. It makes you focus on your work harder when you go through this. You don't like this where your head space is at for a while. It bothers you, and you wanna put your focus on something, and you get pissed off and say, "The hell with it! I'm gonna focus on work," and you do, and you do very well. In fact, you do some of your best work. Your sharpness, the just very astute, very in tune. Not that you don't before, but you have even more a drive. And you, at this point, you're going to solidify something where you're going to bank on it later. So it's like when a person puts a great deal of effort in, just let's say October, let's just pick a month, October. And they put a lot of work in what they're doing, like a lot of effort and everything. And then maybe like 5 months later, and even at the 6th month or 8th month or 9th month mark, the reward of what they did comes back and blossoms even more. And they look back and go, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of the good job that I did. Wow, that was a while ago during a shitty time. Wow." So that's what I see in the reading. Okay, so that's just, now let's get back into the love part, because it mentions it again. There, I believe you guys make up around, somewhere between the heavy work mind and then you make up. I believe it could be him reaching out to you because, well, number one, you wouldn't in a way. but I just see you so into the work that, you know, it catches you off guard. But here's the problem. And this worries me telling you because you're a worrywart. And I don't want to tell you something that's going to keep you worried all this time. But I got to spill the beans on it because that's what I do. So, all right, here we go. There is an issue with him and some kind of addiction or vice. And on top of that, so I'm not saying, you know, he uses substance or anything like that. What I'm saying is, if he does, I don't know. It could be. Maybe he parties. I don't know. But it's possible. But this can also be a where he's maybe his pattern of behavior is toxic, where okay, I'm very available and very loving now. All right, well, I'm upset and I'm just gonna completely, you know, not become available anymore, and I'm gonna leave you guessing where I am, not on purpose, but I'm gonna go do my thing and not be available, and then you'll hear from me again. So hot, cold, that can be that toxicity. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. And then there's an issue where he showed you two sides of him, the very loving side and the one that hurt you, the one that, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And you do find proof of infidelity. So this is a guy that has a wandering eye and very lustful, and you know, has women on his social media and things like that. He likes to look at, you know, the figures of women and stuff like that, and you're not the only one that you know, his eyes are on. And I think that if he's going to be in a relationship with you, he's got to give up the wandering eye, but that's not something you're going to see for a while. And it's obvious, and there are flags that you may not want to see. And that's the problem. I didn't see that before. I see it now because it was a very limited reading on him and you and your emotions. It wasn't like the relationship itself, like, you know, what he's made of and everything. It was just focused on what's going on right now. Is he interested? Is it real? Yes, it's very connected. And yeah, and now I see some of the things coming up. So it's hard because, like I said, I see your career going up and succeeding and everything like that, and stabilizing and making you very content, very more than content, happy with things. But I see that the love with this guy is up and down. So that that is that part. Let me see something. Okay, reading doesn't close yet, so there's more to go over. 1 second here. I'm trying to find, okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna do Okay. So I went ahead and looked deeper into the future of both of you, and this is as deep as you need to go. I took it as far as in a speed way, but there's no stone unturned, believe you me, when I evaluate the love line. Okay, in case you, so you don't feel like you have to, you know, get more answers and get more answers. I don't leave people with cliffhangers. I don't like it. I like people to get their answer as much as possible. Okay. I have a look at the relationship. Um, it looks like after the infidelity, jealousy, whatever, it doesn't mean that you have an issue thinking he cheated on you. It means that you start to notice that there's themes of that show up where you don't like it, where you're just not trusting, that kind of thing. When that happens, there is a phase where you make up again and you get back together. And you actually this time have a very happy wave together again. Only to then have him do another number on you. But this time, this would be then the third breakup. This one leaves you really bad, in shambles. Bad. I'm telling you. My suggestion is you gotta live your life. You gotta give it one more round, because it sounds nuts, but it's normal for you to live through little pieces of the reading. It's normal for you to live through little pieces of because it's your life. You're invested. You got to see some of this happen. My suggestion is, when you start to see this happen and you start to see this unfold and you start to see this take place and you're like, wow, okay, this is headed in that direction and I see the loops, that's when you make the decision to cut it off, to completely say, okay, I'm not going through the ringer. Just you've seen enough. You haven't seen enough yet. You've only seen the good side. You're just getting a reading. I'm a stranger on the internet. Like I don't, like I said, I don't expect you to believe. You got to live through some of it and be like, okay. And at the smart time, because you're aware of this knowledge, you'll have what it takes to say, okay, I feel, because you have to feel it intuitively. You have to feel like at this point it's been enough. You guys go through amazing times. There's a lot of bond here. This talks about, learning about a lot about yourself in this evolution of this. There's a lot of, but the important key factor here is for you to pull the plug on it when you feel that it's the right time, because you can't let him take you through loops and loops and loops later. You can't unplug now, because it's too early and you've only seen the beautiful side. You got to live through some of the things so you could see what's going on. That's I guess that's why they say that for some people readings are taboo. Readings are beautiful because they give you, when they're accurate. There's a lot of fakes, but when it's accurate, you get to see like things unfold to help you. But does it help you? Some people love it because they just, I want to know. I'd rather know. And some people are like, oh God, what now? It tarnished my headspace. And why did I know? And why did I? That's the hard part about readings. That's the hard part about readings, is that it's got its good and bad. Excuse me. So that closes the reading. I think a lot, I'm going to see what you wrote now, but did I cut I cut the recording. At 22. I guess when the timer went off, I didn't finish the ending, but I think you got all of it. But anyway, So that's the way that you sum it up. The career stuff is really good. I just told you the things to avoid, and it keeps going really good and stable. The love part is the up and down, up and down, up and down, and the thing with this guy is so intense. So intense. This is a very intense connection. Very intense connection. So yeah, that's the best way that I could say it. So let me read some of the things. That makes me not want to continue to see him now, the wandering eye. You gotta see it for yourself. Because it's not just the wandering eye. There's also things in his social media with other women. And there's a difference. You know, there's different levels of it. When a guy falls in love with a woman and they are seeing each other exclusively, it's supposed to be exclusive. He's not supposed to see a damn thing online that you wouldn't approve of. I'm sorry, that's not loyalty. You know, that's nothing you wouldn't do. You wouldn't be caught, you know, looking at, you know, eye candy or whatever. So neither should he. And that's the point where people should close all their, you know, ads and all their things and all their online stuff. They gotta, you know, and address it and stuff. So that closes the reading. You said, I just see some flags now. If that's addressed, it can be avoided. No, you cannot avoid. You can avoid the first argument. You can avoid the first argument. You can avoid any argument with him if you study the way that it's gonna, but I saw that you came back and you were stressed about some love stuff. And I saw that it came up in the career read, and it came in heavier than the career stuff, because the career stuff is just positive things, except for a couple of warnings, but it's basically good stuff. And that's when I decided I'm going to do a deep dive, and I did. That's why I went deeper than you know, because I wanted to see like where it's going. And it's going through this. You can't avoid his behaviors and things like that. He's going to take you through loops. But you gotta just, now that you're aware, now go live your life and be happy, and then be ready to make the strong decisions that you feel you need to make at the right times. Okay? And don't worry about all the ugly stuff. Right now you're in a good phase. Put that out of your mind and live your life. But when you start, he might be your person. I don't know. If he is, your person could be the person. Okay, let me explain. It's Hollywood fake fantasy thinking that your soulmate and your person is the person that's going to bring you the biggest happiness in your life, and it's going to work out and it's going to be a fairy tale. That happens to 2% of the population. I'm a love specialist. That's what I do. The love of your life doesn't mean that you are theirs. If you are each other's, you could be a karmic connection. I don't know your love destiny. I'd have to study your astrology. I'm not trying to sell you any astrology, but that's where the answer's at. I would just say don't worry about it and live your life. But soulmates, it's a tough subject. You could, many times women fall in love with a toxic man. And that is the one they're supposed to be in love with. That's the one that is the biggest connection. It has to do with the karma of your love life from your past life. I don't know I don't know who your soulmate is. It could be him. There's a lot of intensity. And he could be someone that just doesn't bring. So if let's say he's your soulmate in your chart. Let's say that he's your soulmate. Okay. He's toxic. So let's say it doesn't work out with him. Does that mean you're gloom and doom and alone the rest of your life? No. That means that Venus and the moon are going to put you through another direction and going to bring you happiness. You're not going to be the same after that, but you're going to live a happy life with somebody. So it's not gloom and doom. The life is always like a GPS. It's trying to like always balance you. So people have the concept that everybody wants to be born and be rich. Okay, is that the reality? Is everyone going to be a trillionaire? Pfft, No, there's like only one trillionaire. Like what? What? No. No, but I want to be rich. I understand. But like, no. Maybe rich to you is one jackpot. Maybe to him it's an inheritance. Maybe to him it's a trust fund. Maybe to him it's a really good job. Maybe to the other one it's a job he inherited from his family. Everyone has a different love destiny too. So that when people say, oh, your person, yeah, your person can be someone who ends up toxic. It all depends on what astrology is, what the destiny and your karma of love are in your chart. That's a whole other ball game, so don't worry about that. But I mean, unless you want to worry about that, whatever, you know. Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess if he's your person, probably. There's a high chance he could be your person, because this bond and this up and down and this like kind of like, you know, is very heavy. So I don't know. Where you connect and break up and connect, that's very heavy. Yeah. And you don't have to go through this in your life. That's not what I mean. I don't mean, oh, stick and be miserable. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that live through a little piece so that you at least see the reading. If you were my cousin, I'd tell you, don't bother. But you know, I don't know you like this, so I'm saying live through some of it. You know, I'm not saying plug out and that's it. I'm just saying live through some of it, you know, and that way you can see it unfold. And then until, you know, and that's it. That's what I mean by that. So that way, you know, so you can at least see, and then you'll know to unplug at that time. But at least you're aware, and good stuff with the career too. All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Oh, I think I got all the recordings now. So don't stress too much. Just live your life and be aware. Be aware of flags, be aware of things, and be honest with yourself. And when you see stuff gets, you know, then be wise about it. All right, I'm gonna go get my other charger, and I have to start a reading for, let's see, 12. Okay, so we'll have enough time. So this is for Callie. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my charger because this is, I don't have it. I need to plug it in for the battery. Okay, I'll be back.